Alright, welcome back, IB macroeconomics students. This video lecture today we're going to be talking about the aggregate demand curve, what the aggregate demand curve is, the explanation, illustration, as well as some characteristics. So, first thing first, we're going to have two graphs. Okay. Now, the first graph you're going to be really familiar with. Okay. This is the macroeconomics demand and supply curve. Okay. So by this point, you should be able to draw this in your sleep. It seriously is. We've drawn this hundreds of times. So on the y-axis is the price. On the x-axis, we have the quantity. Okay, and then for demand, okay, we're gonna have this. Okay, so this is the demand curve for macroeconomics, macroeconomics, demand curve. Now, similarly, macroeconomics, we also have this a similar looking curve. Okay, but this is just macroeconomics demand curve. Now, okay, the y-axis is the same thing. Okay, it's the price. Now, contrary to microeconomics, the price refers to the price level. Okay, the average price of a good. So let's say the good we are looking at in this example is granola bars. Okay. Well, microeconomics only looks at one company's price and one company's quantity demanded. Macroeconomics price looks at the average price of all granola bars sold. Okay, so they may look at this company, A, B, C, and D. Okay, these are the main companies selling granola bars within this economy, and they take this figure and then they average the figure in order to get the price in macroeconomics for the y-axis. On the x-axis, instead of quantity, we have real GDP. Now, why use real GDP instead of quantity demanded? Because macroeconomics concerns the economic output this good, okay, or this market segment brings to the economy. Now, similarly, like macroeconomics, the demand curve, okay, is also sloping downward. Okay, so this is the AD curve. I'm going to label this the AD curve, aka the aggregate demand curve. Okay, that of which is of course sloping downwards. Now, why does it slope downwards? Okay, the difference between microeconomics and macroeconomics and why the demand curve slope downwards is the biggest difference. Okay, so you have to be able to spot the difference between the two curves. Although they look alike, the labeling and reasoning is different. Okay, the demand curve for microeconomics slopes downwards because consumers are willing and able to buy more at lower quantities. And then this is really different from macro demand curves, where macro demand curves are actually macro demand curve slopes downwards because of a different reason. Okay, so this is the reason for macro. Micro. For macro, the demand curve shifts downwards because as price decreases, as the average price level decreases for a good, the disposable income that consumers have increases. With disposable income, they go to other places to buy more goods, therefore increasing the real GDP. Now, why is this useful? This is what economists refers to as the wealth effect. Okay, the wealth effect causes the macroeconomics AD curve to shift downwards. Okay, when the price level decreases, the disposable income for consumers increase, leading to the wealth effect and consumers having more disposable income, leading to increase in real GDP. Now, likewise, decreases or actually increases in price leads consumers to have less income / money, leading to less spending and less real GDP output. Okay, so this is why, okay, the macroeconomics AD curve shifts downwards. Now, although the macro and micro AD curve both shifts downwards, the reasoning behind them is different, and the results are indeed different between the two. And that is, of course, because the reasoning is different, and that is also because the x-axis in macroeconomics is quantity, or the y on the x-axis in macroeconomics is actually real GDP and not the quantity as it is in micro. So I hope this video is helpful in showing you how to draw the aggregate demand curve of macroeconomics, as well as telling why the aggregate demand curve for macroeconomics shifts downwards, and the differentiating factors between macro and micro. So I hope this video is helpful, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.